Ramayam Padantikam Vandehang Sri Gura Sri Juta Padakamalam Sri Gurung Vaishnavangsha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatha Nitantam Sajevam Sadaitam Shavadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Visakhantanscha Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunnavadi Paschat Deshatarine Vancha kalpatarubhascha kripa sindhu evacha patitanang pavanebho vaishnavebho namo namaha namo mahavadannaya krishna prema pradayate krishnaya krishna chaitanya namne gauratishe namaha he krishna karuna sindhu deenabandha jagatpate gopesha gopika kanta radha kanta namostute तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये नीलाचल निवासाय नित्याय परमात्मने बलभद्र सुभद्राभ्यां जगन्नाथाय ते नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे मुखम करोति वाचालं पंगुर्लंघयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुदिनतारिणं परमानंद माधवं श्री चैतन्य ईश्वरम् हरे कृष्णा. Welcome everyone on the auspicious divine appearance day of Bhagavad Gita. Today is Gita Jayanti. Gita Jayanti means appearance day of Bhagavad Gita. On this auspicious day, more than 5,000 years ago, the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna spoke Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna in the battlefield of Kurukshetra. So it is very, very auspicious day because by the causeless mercy of Lord Sri Krishna, we got the message of Bhagavad Gita through the medium of Arjuna. So Krishna wants to reveal the confidential knowledge only through his devotees. So Bhagavad Gita is eternally the manual of the human race in this material world. It is not only a religious book. Prabhupada says this is the manual of human beings. So we got the human body, which is like a machine. Just like when you buy a machine, along with the machine, the company provides a manual how to operate that machine. So the same way, we got this machine of human body, and Krishna has given the manual in the form of Bhagavad Gita how to handle this body. So why Bhagavad Gita is very, very relevant, important, significant in our life? We can understand this by understanding the situation of Arjuna before the battlefield of Kurukshetra. So Arjuna was a king. Arjuna was a Kshatriya. So as a king, as a Kshatriya, he is duty bound to fight. It's not that Arjuna did not fight any other battle. He fought so many battles. But this battle was very special because through this battle, Krishna wanted to establish Dharma in this world. And before establishing Dharma, Krishna wanted to reveal to the whole world about the message of Dharma in the form of Bhagavad Gita. And he wanted to do that through Arjuna, because Arjuna is a devotee of the Lord. So Arjuna saw before the start of the battle, in his opposite side, there were his relatives, but in particular he saw two personalities: the grandfather Bhishma and Dronacharya. So Dronacharya was the spiritual master of Arjuna, and Bhishma was the grandfather of Arjuna. So as a duty, the Kshatriya is supposed to kill all the members of the enemy camp. So Arjuna, in that capacity, was expected to fight with Dronacharya and fight with Bhishma to kill them. But he started thinking that I am the disciple of Dronacharya. Dronacharya is my guru. And Bhishma is my grandfather, loving grandfather. I am the grandson. So how can I fight with my grandfather? How can I fight with my spiritual master? And in that situation, Arjuna was bewildered, perplexed, was in anxiety. Why he was in anxiety? Because he was in Dharma Sankat. He was in the anxiety because he did not know what to do, whether to fight or not to fight. About his duty, he was confused. Why? Because he could not understand his identity. He was in identity crisis. We, the conditioned souls in this material world, are also in that identity crisis. That's why the spiritual journey begins with the knowledge of our identification, real identification. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita that we are not this body, we are the spirit soul. Mamai Bangsha Jiva Loke Jiva Bhuta Sanatana. We have two kinds of identities. One is temporary identity, another one is permanent identity. So permanent identity is not visible, but changing identity is visible. The body is visible, but the real identity as a spirit soul is not visible. But that is the real identity. So why Arjuna was in anxiety? Because he was in that changing situation. People in this world are in anxiety because everything is changing in this world, including Dehinosmin Jatha Dehe Komarang Javanang Jara Tatha Dehantara Prapti Dhirastatra Naminati. Our body is always changing. We have different kind of body in the womb of the mother. Then we have different kind of body when we are born. Then we have different kind of body, the childhood, boyhood, youth, then old age. Then body is going to be finished. That's why it is changeable. And the situation which is changeable, the situation which is changing, that cannot give us happiness or bliss. That will give us only anxiety. So changing condition leads to anxiety. That's why Arjuna was in anxiety. Because he was identifying himself with the body. But when we start identifying with the spirit soul is unchangeable. Lord is unchangeable. And our relationship with the Lord is unchangeable. So Bhagavad Gita is very important for us because in this book, in this literature, Krishna is trying to teach this message to the whole world, how to situate ourselves in the permanent situation. That is called knowledge. Sambandha Gyan, Mahaprabhu also taught the same principle. He taught Jivere Swaruphay Krishna Nitya Das, Krishna Tathastha Shakti Bhedaved Prakash. So we are the servant of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Krishna, the Supreme Lord, is the complete, and we are the part of that complete. Therefore, it is a duty of the part to serve the whole. In the same way, the spirit soul being the part of the whole Supreme Lord, it is a duty of that spirit soul to serve the Supreme Lord. So that is the message of Bhagavad Gita. So today, our topic is book distribution. Prabhupada emphasized so much on distributing this knowledge. There are two kinds of Vaishnavas: Bhajananandi Vaishnavas, Goshtanandi Vaishnavas. Those who are Bhajananandi Vaishnavas, they are also wonderful Vaishnavas, but their focus is on themselves only. They only want to have their own perfection. But Goshtanandi Vaishnavas are those, they are not only concerned about their perfection, they are also
connected.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Can I continue?
Yes, Maharaj.
The Goshtanandi Vaishnavas, they are interested not only in their perfection, they are too much concerned about the welfare of others. That's why they want to distribute this knowledge by which human beings can attain perfection. That is very, very important principle. And Prabhupada said that we are in the parampara of Goshtanandi Vaishnavas. So Mahaprabhu predicted, and Mahaprabhu also mentioned the duty of a person who is born in India. Mahaprabhu said, Bharat bhumite manusya janma hoilo jar, janma sarthak kori karo paro upakar. Jare dekho tare kaho Krishna Pradesh, amar aggai guru hoiya taro udesh. So Mahaprabhu mentions that it is the special position of a person who is born in India. What is the special position? That he has a duty, he or she has a duty to distribute the message of the Lord in the form of Bhagavad Gita in every town and village all over the world. Prithivite ashe jata nagaradi gram sarvatra prachar hare Krishna. Mahaprabhu predicted that every town and village all over the world, the message of Bhagavad Gita will be spread. That was the mission set by Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. In order to do that, he sent Rup Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, and other Goswamis to Vrindavan. And they are entrusted with 4 primary responsibilities. Number 1, they were instructed to excavate, discover the holy places of pastimes of Krishna in Brajamandal. They are also expected to build wonderful temples to establish the worship of the Lord. They are also expected to establish the Vaishnava etiquette, how to interact with the devotees. And also, they are specially instructed to write books. That is very, very important message for all of us. Because Srila Prabhupada said, there are 4 principles in ISKCON. First one, books are the basis. Second, purity is the force. Third, preaching is the essence. And fourth, utility is the principle. So books are the basis. So Prabhupada said that ISKCON has been established by these books. The foundation of the movement is books. He said that our society is not built by steel, cement, bricks. ISKCON is nothing external. ISKCON is built by books. Prabhupada said, if all the temples are closed down, but if book distribution continues, then this movement will continue. So our movement depends on books. The expansion of our movement depends on books. The foundation of our movement depends on books. Maintenance of our movement depends on books. Everything is books. Same thing was instructed by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to the Goswamis, and they started writing books, so many books. Rupa Goswami wrote so many books, Sanatana Goswami wrote so many books. Why? Because books are the basis. Because Mahaprabhu wanted to establish a foundation of the Sankirtan movement by these Goswamis. And after that, Jiva Goswami was very, very expert in Vedic literature. He was a wonderful scholar in Vedic literatures. He also wrote so many books. And he wrote also devotional classics in the form of Sat Sandarbhas. And he trained primarily 3 important personalities: Srinivas Acharya, Narottam Das Thakur, and Samananda Pandit. And after training them in those books, they studied scrutinizingly all these books under the guidance of Srila Jiva Goswami. And when they are trained, they are sent with those books in different parts of Bengal, Odisha, and surrounding areas. But the lesson to be learned, before they are sent, they are trained. That's why Prabhupada says, before distributing, we should also study first. ভারত ভূমিতে মনুষ্য জন্ম হইল যার, জন্ম সার্থক করি কর পর উপকার. First, we have to educate ourselves. First, we have to make our life successful. Then we can make others' life successful. That is very, very important principle. We can give what we have. If we don't have bhakti, how we can give bhakti? If we don't know what is there in the books, then how we can distribute that knowledge? If we don't have knowledge, then how we can distribute knowledge? Prabhupada said that we are not making you book sellers. We are not book sellers. We are book distributors. Distribution of the knowledge. So therefore, we have to be knowledgeable first. So it is explained by one senior devotee that Srila Prabhupada took so much trouble because he was running a worldwide movement. He was the founder Acharya. He is the founder Acharya. And he is going to be the founder Acharya of this movement. And he said that I am so busy. When can I write books? But books are so important. So he gave up his sleep at night. He used to get up around 12 o'clock, 12:30 at night, and he used to translate these books into English. That was his austerity. That was his pain for the suffering humanity of this age of Kali. But what is our austerity? Our austerity is to study those books and distribute those books. This is our austerity. So austerity is a fundamental element of spiritual life. Tapa, tapasya, austerity. Not only in spiritual life, in every field, austerity is very, very important. Unless we take trouble, unless we take pain, we cannot be successful in any field. Nothing comes easy. Easy life is a life of failure. Those who want to lead a life just like a relaxed way, complacency, they will be failure in any effort in their lives. So therefore, we have to take the pain. No pain, no gain. Same principle applies also in the spiritual journey. But Srila Prabhupada took this pain not for himself. He took this pain to remove the pain of the human society. And that is the quality of a Vaishnava. Paradukhe dukhi. He feels very sad by seeing the sadness of the human society. So therefore, mood is also very, very important. That is the most important element. That's why it is said, it is not the content, but the intent that determines the quality of our service. Service attitude. We want to please others, not for our satisfaction. Service should be done for the satisfaction of others, and especially for the satisfaction of the Supreme Lord. So that mood is very, very important. So why to distribute books? First, we have to understand the importance of books. So till now, we tried to establish the importance of books. Why books are important? Because books are the foundation. Books are the basis. Without books, nothing can move forward. Can I continue?
Yes, Maharaj. Devotees are requested kindly keep yourself muted for the time being. Before that, we tell you to unmute yourself. Yes, Maharaj.
What I was talking?
Content and intent, Maharaj. That we should
Books are the
act for
basis,
pleasure-
importance of books.
act for the pleasure of others.
Yes. I'm checking whether you are hearing or doing something else. Correct? Because I'm not able to see all of you. So just to check. Okay. So taking pain for others is very important mood. Lord Ramchandra was very popular in Ayodhya. Why? He was doing simple things. When someone was going through some difficulty and they were crying because of the difficulty, Lord Ramchandra used to go to them and used to cry with them. And if someone was celebrating the joy, so Lord Ramchandra used to go and used to celebrate their joy with them. That is called Vaishnava. They feel happy by seeing others happy. And they feel sad by seeing others sad. But in this world, this principle is opposite. We feel happy by seeing others sad. And we feel sad by seeing others happy. Why? Because we have the problem of envy in our heart. But who can distribute books? Who can preach Krishna consciousness? Who can spread the message of the Lord? Who is having compassion? Envy and compassion. Two opposite. When we are focused about ourselves, we will become envious. And when we are focused for the welfare of others, we will become compassionate. So compassion is very, very important. So how to become compassionate? There is a passion and compassion. People in this world are too much influenced by passion. But a Vaishnava is influenced by compassion. So I give a very simple formula. Passion and compassion. तो पैशन को थोड़ा कम करना है, कम पैशन. जब पैशन कम हो जाएगा तो कंपैशन आ जाएगा. इसीलिए हमारा जिंदगी में कंपैशन लेके आना है तो हम लोगों को क्या करना पड़ेगा? पैशन को थोड़ा कम करना पड़ेगा. We have to give up our selfish desires. Because passion leads to selfish desires. And compassion leads to selfless service. So book distribution is based on the principle of compassion. Book distribution is based on the principle of selfless service. So how to develop that? The process is purification of the heart. That's why Prabhupada says, who can distribute this knowledge? Who is practicing Krishna consciousness very wonderfully. So practice of bhakti is very, very important. And it is also said, Janma sarthak kari. First we have to make our life successful. How we can make our life successful? By practicing Krishna consciousness. Sadhana bhakti. So Prabhupada has given the whole morning program, wonderful morning program. Mangalarati, chanting of the japa, offering puja to the spiritual master. Then hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. Very, very powerful package of practice. It is also said, the secret of success is words. Practice, practice, and practice. There is no alternative of practice. Nothing comes by magic. We should not think one day we'll get up in the morning and we'll start feeling compassionate. Envy disappeared, compassion manifested. It's not going to work like that. For that, we have to practice. But people think that one day by automatic process it will happen. Nothing is automatic. We have to work for it. So coming back to the point of the books, so books are very, very important. And in any spiritual journey, knowledge of the scriptures is the fundamental aspect. But to talk about spiritual journey, if you want to become a doctor, if you want to become an engineer, if you want to become IS officer, any endeavor in this world also, books are the best. Because you get all the knowledge from books. So books, teacher, and institution. Three are very, very important. Just like if you want to become a doctor, you cannot buy books and read books and become a doctor. That's not the process. Books are very, very important, but you have to study those books under the guidance of a professor. In the same way, Bhagavad Gita is a very, very important book for our spiritual journey, but that has to be studied under the guidance of a person who knows Bhagavad Gita. We cannot understand Bhagavad Gita by our own self-study. Not possible. That's why we need a spiritual teacher. Arjuna, he understood Bhagavad Gita by hearing from Krishna. In the same way, we can also understand Bhagavad Gita by hearing from the representative of Krishna. Same benefit. The benefit Arjuna got by hearing Bhagavad Gita from Krishna, same benefit we can also have, Prabhupada mentioned, if we hear from the bona fide representative of Krishna. That same thing is available till now. And this is eternally available. And that is the process of Guru Parampara. The same knowledge what Krishna spoke is coming down in the form of disciplic succession. So that is the way to receive this knowledge. So distribution of books, distribution of Bhagavad Gita is very, very important. How book is important, Prabhupada also showed by his own example. So Srila Prabhupada, he appeared in the year 1896 in Kolkata, and he met his spiritual master, His Divine Grace, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada, in Calcutta. So 1922, he met him. And in that meeting, His Divine Grace Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada told Avail Charan, that was his name that time, to spread this message all over the world in English-speaking language. So if you go back to the time when Bhakti Vinod Thakur appeared, I think you know about Bhakti Vinod Thakur. Bhakti Vinod Thakur was the father of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada. And he wanted to establish the teachings of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in this world. Because during his time, the teachings of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was distorted. It was lost. It was misused. It was mispresented. And that's why no intelligent person was taking the teachings of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu seriously, because it was presented in a very degraded manner. That's why Bhaktivinoda Thakur felt the need to re-establish the pure teachings of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in this world. And that's why he was searching for a copy of Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. It is a devotional classic by Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. So in this book, the life and teachings of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is very wonderfully explained. But Bhaktivinoda Thakur was not able to find a single copy of the Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. And he was searching, and after searching for so long, he got one copy of Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. And based on that book, he started writing his books. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur also wrote so many books. Some are in English, some are in Bengali. So many books he wrote. And in that way, he also established the importance of books, because books are the basis. Then Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada also had the same principle. He told Abhay Charanaravinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, whenever you get money, print books. Why? Because books are the basis. And Abhay Charanaravinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada followed that instruction very seriously. In 1944, he released the first Back to Godhead magazine. then Prabhupada was preparing to translate Srimad Bhagavatam. Because in this age of Kali, Krishna has appeared in the form of Srimad Bhagavatam. Krishna sadamopagate dharma jnana adivisha kalo nashta dishamesha purana arka uduna udita. After Krishna's disappearance from this world at the end of the Abhurjuga, Krishna has appeared again in the form of Srimad Bhagavatam. So Prabhupada was translating Srimad Bhagavatam because he knew that books are the basis. He wanted to go to America, but he was not going to America till the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam was ready in English language. So that was ready in the year 1965. And Prabhupada got inspiration, divine inspiration. Now is the time to go to America to spread the message of Srimad Bhagavatam, spread the message of Bhagavad Gita. So why? Because books are the basis. Prabhupada said that I never came to America. Srimad Bhagavatam came to America and I came with Srimad Bhagavatam. That was the mood. So he thought that he was not preaching Krishna consciousness. Srimad Bhagavatam was preaching Krishna consciousness. That's why books are very, very important. So Prabhupada said that ISKCON is my body, spiritual body. We should not think that the institution Prabhupada established, the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, is a material institution. You should not think like that. If you think like that, then it is complete misunderstanding of the society. So Prabhupada has established ISKCON. ISKCON is a spiritual institution. It is completely spiritual. So that's why Prabhupada said that ISKCON is my body. So Prabhupada is a transcendental person, so his body is also transcendental. That's why ISKCON is also transcendental in that understanding. But for us, it's very difficult. Just like holy name is transcendental, but we are not transcendental. That's why we cannot appreciate the transcendental nature of the holy name. In the same way, the transcendental nature of the society cannot be understood by our modes of material nature. For that, we have to also become transcendental. And Prabhupada said, ISKCON is my body. And BBT, the Bhakti Vedanta Book Trust, Srila Prabhupada opened a trust publication house, which is known as Bhakti Vedanta Book Trust. All the Prabhupada books are published by this trust. And Prabhupada said, BBT, Bhakti Vedanta Book Trust, is my heart. And he also said, the money of ISKCON is my blood. So there is a big connection. And he said, if book distribution stops, our movement will stop. Why? There is a connection. So, in order to keep the body alive, heart has to be active. So how heart will be active? When there is blood. Blood makes the heart active. If there is no flow of blood in the body, then heart will stop functioning. So ISKCON devotees, they distribute books and they buy the books from Bhaktivedanta Book Trust and they make the payment of those books. And that is the flow of money from ISKCON to BBT in the form of buying books. But if ISKCON stops distributing Srila Prabhupada's books, there will be no money flow from ISKCON to BBT because there is no books coming to ISKCON. So there will be no blood flow in the heart of Srila Prabhupada's body, then what will happen? The body will collapse. That is the connection. So if we want to keep this movement alive, then we have to keep on distributing Srila Prabhupada's books. It's very, very important. So Srila Prabhupada's books are not ordinary books. Srila Prabhupada said that it is my devotional ecstasy. And this is also revealed knowledge. There are three levels of knowledge: acquired knowledge, realized knowledge, and revealed knowledge. So what is acquired knowledge? By hearing, by reading, by studying, we get information. That is called acquired knowledge, which is information. Then realized knowledge. When we apply that knowledge in our life, then we get realization, transformation. That's why it is said, spiritual life is not about information. Spiritual life is all about transformation. If we know certain things, but if we don't apply that in our life, then there is no use of that knowledge. Just like cigarette smoking is injurious to health, that is information, knowledge. But if someone does not apply that knowledge in their life, then what will happen? Will suffer. In the same way, if we don't apply the knowledge which we get from Vedic literatures, then we will not get any realization. And we will be at the level of information only. But spiritual life is all about transformation. So transformation will take place when we apply that information in our life. Application of information leads to transformation. Then realization has different levels. When we become fully realized, 100%, that realization is called revealed knowledge. Everything will be revealed. We can see. Just like Lord Ramachandra's biography in the form of Ramayana was revealed to Valmiki Muni. He saw and wrote. Brahma saw the spiritual world and wrote Brahma Samhita. Vasudev saw and wrote Srimad Bhagavatam. In the same way, Bhaktivedanta purports, the books of Srila Prabhupada are also the examples of revealed knowledge. It's completely transcendental. That's why we should try to understand the importance of those books and read those books, apply the knowledge of those books in our life and transform our lives. And with that transformation, we should distribute this knowledge to transform the whole human society. Because Krishna consciousness is the only hope of the modern society. Because everybody is searching for Krishna, but they don't know. Everybody is searching for love. We are all searching for love. And Krishna is love. So we are all searching for Krishna, but we don't know. We are in mode of ignorance, mode of passion. That's why it's very difficult to understand who is the object of love, which we are hankering for. So Bhagavad Gita gives that information, gives that knowledge, that if you want to be happy in this world, then what to do? The process is to connect to Krishna. Connection gives the experience of happiness, and disconnect is the cause of our suffering. So Bhagavad Gita is a process by which the whole human society can be connected with the Supreme Lord. And when the society, the whole human society will be connected to the Supreme Lord, then whole human society will become transformed. And naturally, each member of the society also will be individually transformed, because each of them also will be connected to the Supreme Lord. So connection with the Supreme Lord will bring transformation in our life. So that will bring revolution in our life, spiritual revolution. cultural revolution in the whole society. So when there will be cultural and spiritual revolution, then there will be a change in the whole society, and the people of the society will experience the happiness and bliss which they are hankering for. So therefore, it's a great need of the hour to distribute that. So there is an urgency. Prabhupada said distributing books, distributing this transcendental knowledge is like declaring war against Maya. There are two parties in this war: Krishna party, Krishna's army, and Maya's army. And Maya is very, very powerful. But Krishna is more powerful than her. So therefore it is explained in Bhagavad Gita, Jatra Jageshwara Krishna Jatra Partha Dhanurdhara Tatra Si Vijayar Bhuti Dhruvanitir Matir Mamaha. Wherever there is Krishna and wherever there is Arjuna, there will be victory. So if we want to be victorious in our life, then we have to be with Krishna and his devotees. That is the message we get from Bhagavad Gita. Connection with the Supreme Lord is very, very important. That's why it is the great need of the hour to distribute this message, distribute this knowledge to each and every corner of the world, so that people in this world can get benefit from this transcendental knowledge and make their human form of life successful. So it's an war. So Prabhupada says, in the war, the army, they drop bombs. And Prabhupada said these books are like time bombs. What we have to do? We have to just keep those bombs in every house of the world. And it can blast anytime, and that will create revolution in the heart. That blasting will take place in the consciousness. It's a revolution of the consciousness. So that will happen through those books. So it's so important. That's why Prabhupada said that every respectable family should have a set of Srimad Bhagavatam and Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. And Bhagavad Gita is the book which is like the manual of each and every human being. So how to conduct ourselves in this human form of body, that is known in the knowledge which is there in Bhagavad Gita. So therefore, distributing the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita is very, very important welfare activity in this world. There are so many welfare activities people do, but distributing this transcendental knowledge in the form of Bhagavad Gita is the highest welfare activity. Why? By this, there will be a permanent solution of the whole human society. And this place will become a place of Vaikuntha without any miseries and anxiety. And that will be the greatest service to the human society. And that's why Prabhupada begged, pleaded to distribute these books with full enthusiasm. So on this auspicious day, we pray to Bhagavad Gita and Srila Prabhupada so that we can also follow in the footsteps of the previous acharyas and become an instrument in their hands and distribute this Vedic knowledge in the form of Bhagavad Gita to anyone and everyone in this world, and make our life successful and make others' life successful. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Bhagavad Gita ki jai, Gita Jayanti Maha Mahotsav ki jai, Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Go. So if you have any question, we have 4-5 minutes left.
Yes. Maharaj, we'll have one question, answer session, little short, and then some pledging also we're thinking of doing.
So pledging they can do by sending.
Yes,
by
Maharaj.
WhatsApp.
Yes, Maharaj.
And they can think now about their pledges, and you can remind them what they did in the last year, and accordingly they can do their pledge this year. And Prabhupada said always try to double.
Yes, Maharaj. Maharaj, last year we distributed 3,423 Bhagavad Gita in marathon.
So now this year it should be doubled.
Yes,
At
Maharaj.
least try to double it. There's nothing wrong to try.
Yes,
But
Maharaj.
maximum will happen. We'll not able to do it. There is no loss. But if you can do it, there will be great success.
Yes, Maharaj. And small books 898, medium book 87.
So you can remind them, send them of the last year plays and also actuals, and accordingly they should decide about their plays and send it.
Yes,
So
Maharaj.
start doing. They should start doing this from today.
Maharaj, we are sending one Google form. They could, all devotees are requested kindly fill that form for your pages, and then you can get the mercy of all the Vaishnavas assembled here as well as previous acharyas, so that we will be able to do it. Hare Krishna. Google form is sent to you all. And if you have any question, query, kindly ask question to Maharaj. Mayapur based devotees.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Is it audible, Maharaj?
Very much audible.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, thank you for the wonderful class. So, generally for in youth preaching, we generally try to convey this message to youths, and we are more focused on training and like how to make them up. So we get less number of youths only from colleges, like maximum 15-20 youths. So from to them only mostly we distribute books and all. So generally from like, so in this way, like book distribution does not happen much to youths. So like how can we connect to more youths to distribute more books like that?
So Prabhupada gave all the ideas. You can keep those books in the libraries. You have to get in touch with the institutions explaining the importance of these books. In Western countries, many premier institutes, they have declared Prabhupada Bhagavad Gita as the standard textbooks of their institution. So in that way, we can do so many ways to distribute Prabhupada's books more and more.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Any other question? No more question. So thank you so much. Hare Krishna, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Hare Krishna. Maharaj, we are putting some book score around 8,000. Bhakti Vijay Bhagavat Maharaj also told us that don't make it less than 8,000. That we like to ask for your blessings and mercy, so that we will be able to actually reach to this goal of making 8,000 Mahabig books in this marathon.
If you try, blessings will flow. That's it.
Thank you so much, Maharaj.
Hare Krishna. So I'll take your leave. Hare Krishna. I wish you all the best. And I pray to the Lord, Srila Prabhupada, so that they will be you will be empowered by them and distribute profusely Bhagavad Gita during this marathon. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Maharaj. His Holiness. So, Maharaj just left. Thank you, bro.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Voice is audible?
Yeah, good, bro.
So devotees can take place. They have filled the form, but still here, Akash, Anay Ghosh, Argyadi, Parindam, Ashish, Divyang, Gaurav, Kalyani, Kalyani Biswati, Kamlesh, then Niranjan Prabhu, Raghuram Rohit. At least they can also tell some number how much they want to donate, sponsor, or distribute. Some sankalpa can be taken here right now today on a very auspicious day. Can we start? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah,
whoever want to come ahead for Sankalpa, you can raise your hands. Then we'll spotlight you. Hare Krishna.
we'll go with.
आप में से जो कोई भी संकल्प करना चाहते हैं, आप अपना हाथ उठाएंगे तो मैं आपको स्पॉटलाइट करूंगा. So
I'll call the name. Call the name. Madhyadeep base NIT Silchar. How many books? You can unmute and you can say. Madhyadeep base NIT Silchar. Haribol.
30 books.
Abhishek. अच्छा Abhishek 30 books. Haribol.
हरे कृष्ण.
मध्यद्वीप बेस में है क्या अभी आप? नहीं है ना?
Connected है.
ठीक है, घर में है, घर से आप 30 बुक्स करो. अच्छा, मध्यद्वीप बेस से कोई क्लास नहीं सुन रहे क्या?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah,
We are listening.
then tell everyone, each of you at least minimum 10 or how much 20.
Prabhu, I am doing 10 books.
Haribol.
Please tell your name, Prabhu, so that I could write your
Yeah,
name.
Nitya Prabhu will write the name.
As well as
Say your.
You can put that in form also.
Yeah.
And if you have required some books at your doorstep, we can send the books. There is address, full address you can give so that we could send that books to you. Hare Krishna.
So from Madhyadeep base, yeah, you can say one by one name and you can say how many number of books.
Prabhu, 11 books.
नाम बोलो.
Nishank,
11 books. Haribol.
Prabhuji, myself Arvind Kumar Kauri, 10 books.
Arvind Kumar?
Arvind Kumar, 10 books.
Haribol, Arvind Kumar Prabhu. Next. Will be fast, huh? Because everyone has to go to.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. My Guru Yadav, 10 books.
10 books, Guru Yadav Prabhu. Haribol.
Yes, Haribol.
Next.
Krishna Babu, Sandra Burman, 10 books as well.
What, Burman? Hare Krishna.
Shayan Burman.
Shayan Burman. 10 books. Haribol. Anyone else? Divyanshu Prabhu? Divyanshu chala gaya.
Yes,
Gaurav?
Prabhu, 10 books.
Divyanshu Prabhu, Haribol, 10 books. Gaurav Prabhu? Gaurav Prabhu? Gaurav Patel? कमलेश प्रभु, कमलेश्वर प्रभु, सब लोग 10 नहीं बोलना चाहिए, स्टैंडर्ड नहीं है, हाई स्टैंडर्ड में.
30 books.
हरिबोल 30 बुक्स कमलेश्वर प्रभु. मायापुर बेस से
Prabhuji with I think Nidai Chandya Prabhu we discussed. I think maybe last 3,000 Prabhuji.
3,000 बुक्स. हरिबोल. मध्यद्वीप बेस, मायापुर बेस की जय. मध्यद्वीप बेस एटलीस्ट 1000 बोलना चाहिए था. ठीक है. निरंजन कुमार. निरंजन प्रभु अनम्यूट कीजिए, जल्दी बोल दीजिए. रघुराम प्रभु. Yes.
Prabhu, like I have one doubt, like when should a new site devotee starts distributing? I'm little very new.
Okay, Raghuram Pranoyesu, your count is already given.
Okay, fine.
Your count is already given in 3,000. Hare Krishna.
Sharad Verma Prabhu.
Yes, bro. Hare Krishna.
How much you want to take? Sankalpa.
10 book, bro.
Bol, Santana Dharma put 10 books. Somedipal Prabhu.
Bro,
10 books. हरि बोल. बहुत कम हो गया. अब तो 100 books करता है. रोहित प्रभु, रोहित हो गया?
Yes, Prabhu. I'm coming with Mayapur base.
Mayapur base. Okay, fine. Thank you very much. Okay, thank you very much. Nitachandani Mahaprabhu can conclude session.
So thank you so much, all wonderful devotees. So just now
Total?
we have had 40, 50, 60, 90, 110, 3,110 books placed. So we are still to mark more 7,000 book places. So we have to wait for some big timers so that to reach that. So we hope and pray all of you will be able to do much more than what you have actually placed for. So we like to pray to Sri Radha Madhav, Sri Gaur Nitai, Sri Panch Tattva, Sri Prabhupada, Sri Prahlad Narsinga, so that they would bestow their choicest mercy upon all of us, so that we could make a team. In team spirit, we can actually do this Parajiva Seva. That's Maharaj was telling, that unless we become compassionate, become selfless, we cannot actually do some service and some favor to other living entities. So that we can get compassion by doing nice sadhana, early morning sadhana, and then we can get that empowerment to go more and more with Srila Prabhupada books and distribute to the needy people around the globe. So thank you so much, all of you, for your most encouraging praises. Hare Krishna. So we like to thank His Grace to thank Taipu, His Holiness Bhakti Prachar Parivrajaka Swami Maharaj, and all of you wonderful Vaishnavas here to assemble here, for assembling here. So please unmute yourself and unmute your video too, if possible, so that we can chant together. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. The Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
Bhakti Marathon ki jai.
Jai.
Mahotsav ki
Jai.
Hare Krishna.
Jai.